Hi everybody. Okay, so as promised, I am going to take you through the steps that I took to get my book, Wildflower, A Tale of Transcendence, from paperback to audiobook. So the good thing, if you do it on your own, you don't really have to spend a lot of money to get set up. First thing, you do need a microphone. I got this one. It's called the Toner TC777. I got it on Amazon. It was 30 bucks. Now I know there's a huge price range of microphones. This is the one I got and it actually worked pretty good. So I do recommend this one to save a lot of money. It has a little tripod stand. Of course, I'm not getting paid by this or anything. This is just someone recommended it to me because I wanted to find the most affordable mic that was still good quality. Whatever mic you do get, make sure it has a pop filter. This little thing, what it does while you're speaking, it'll take away those after each of your P's and whatever, and also some of the mouth noises like while you're talking. So it has a tripod. It's super easy to use. It just plugs right into the computer, and while you're recording, the pop filter goes in front of the microphone and you talk into it. I would say the microphone is probably about 7 inches away from your mouth while you're recording. And I will write the name of that microphone in the description below. Now the second thing you need, and this is very important, is you have to find a spot that is very quiet, small, and has something in there to absorb the noise so you don't get echoing like I may have right now in this bathroom. Excuse me for being in the bathroom, but my girls are doing virtual school right now, so there's not really another place for me to go. Anyway, so I have a whole video on how I set up to get started on audio, on recording my audiobook. But in retrospect, honestly, I wouldn't even bother with any of that. I would just go in the closet. Your closet probably has clothes hanging maybe on both sides. The clothes make a perfect barrier or a perfect material to absorb any extra noise or echoing. So once you have your microphone and you have your quiet, insulated place to start your recording, you are ready to go. Now you don't have to record the book by yourself. You can hire someone who does the narration for you. Personally, my book is a memoir, so I think that memoirs should be in the author's voice telling the story. And the other thing is if you hire someone to narrate your book for you, you're going to pay a lot of money. They probably go from about $50 to $500 an hour. And believe me, it takes a long time to record the book. Okay, so there's a lot of different apps you can use to do your recording in. I personally chose Audacity. You can get this from the Play Store. It's free and it's super user-friendly. So I'm going to open up Audacity. So you're going to plug your microphone into the computer, and right now I am using the MacBook microphone. It'll say here, but when the microphone's plugged in, it's going to say the name of the microphone that you're using. I do this mono recording. If you have headphones on, here's where it'll say that. Right now I don't. I'm just using the speakers. So when I'm ready to record, I'm just going to go up here and hit this red record button. And it'll start recording everything I say. So if I make a mistake, I can stop it by simply pressing the space bar, or you can come up here and hit the square button for stopping, but the space bar is so much easier. So say like I didn't like this last section, what I just read, if I'm reading my book, and I want to now delete it, I'm pushing down on this keypad thing, I forgot what you call it right now, and highlighting it, and now I can just hit delete, and it's going to remove that last section. So you can do that as you're recording to make the final editing process a lot easier. Or if it messes you up while reading, then you'll just want to do that at the end. So if I want to start recording again, I go back up to the red dot, push that, and everything I'm reading into the speaker, or the microphone, will be recorded. Again, spacebar to stop it. Once the chapter is recorded, there's a lot of technical editing things that you have to do, which can be really tricky. So I searched multiple YouTube videos and I found one that explains it really simple and easy. This one is by Tech for Non-Techies, and the title is Audacity / ACX Check and Setup Audiobook Narration, and I'll leave the title of that in my description below. By the way, guys, I would really appreciate, in exchange for me doing this video for you, that you do take a peek at my book, Wildflower, and most importantly, please leave me a review on Amazon and Goodreads. That would be wonderful. So here's something that is not mentioned on Tech for Non-Techies, and that is when you're looking here. So let's see if we can look a little closer on this section. Drag that down a little bit. And I'll zoom in here. Okay. So you see all these little lines here? That's background noise. And where I live, I'm right on the water, so sometimes there'll be a boat going by, or jet skis, or an airplane overhead, and it'll capture, even though I find the quietest place in the house, it'll capture some of that background noise. So here's a trick for that. What I do is I'm going to highlight that noise, a little segment of it, and I'm going to go up here to Effect, click on Effect. I'm going to come down to Noise Reduction, click on that. And first I'm going to get the noise profile, and that's for that section of noise. Okay, let me zoom out again. So that is still highlighted. Down here in the bottom left-hand corner, I can hit Select, and that'll highlight everything. So now the whole area is selected. Anywhere there's that background noise, I'm going to go back up here to Effect, come back down to Noise Reduction, click on that. And if you really want to get technical, you can play around with these numbers, but I'm just going to leave them as is. Hit OK. And look what it did over here. It completely took away all that noise. And if that noise was anywhere else, it also removed it. So that's an important thing to do throughout this. I'm going to tell you one other thing, that your book is going to be way better than mine, because this is something I did not do. And I am going to try to redo my audiobook if I can. I'm not going to redo it, but see if I can fix this problem. I did not pause enough between each sentence. So even though it sounds like when you're reading it, you're pausing between sentences, it may not be enough. So listen to an audiobook, maybe give a count of 1 second, 2 seconds, how long they're pausing, especially between each sentence and each paragraph. Make sure that the pause is long enough. I was so silly. What I did when I was doing my audiobook is I actually went in and I saw the space here and I highlighted it and I took away a lot of my spaces. So now my audiobook is like one long run-on sentence. I can't believe it even got accepted. So make sure your spacing is enough. Also, for ACX and Audible, they do require at the very beginning to have 1 to 3 seconds before. So another thing here is you can take a clean spot that you don't see any little background noise or anything, and copy and paste that. You can either go up to the file copy, or on the Mac I just do Command C to copy it, and then I'm going to bring it over here to the beginning and Command V to make it bigger, and I can do that again, Command V, and until the seconds are up here, until I have enough space at the beginning and at the end. So now the chapter is read. I went through and I deleted sections that were messed up, and I went through the checks that I mentioned from Tech for Non-Techies. I removed, cleaned up any of the noise in between the words. I made sure I had spacing between everything. Now I'm ready to save it and export it. File, save as, chapter 1, which I already wrote. We're going to save it. And I'm going to go File, Export, and you want to export it as an MP3. Chapter 1, and it's going to be MP3 file, save. And then you can fill in this, artist name, Teresa Van Woy, track title, chapter 1, album title, Wildflower, Tale of Transcendence. And okay, great. I'm done with that. So I'll go ahead and close out of, I'm sure there's another way to get to it, but yes, I'm going to save chapter 1. So now I closed out. I know there's a simpler way, but for me, this is how I have to do it. Reopen it. Hit record. Chapter 2, blah, blah, blah. After chapter 2 is done, I do all the same things. I remove the background noise. I edit words as I'm going along, or phrases that don't sound right. Make sure there's spacing in between the words by either spacing it as I'm reading it or going in and adding more spaces. I do the check and setup for ACX that I talked about. I save it, I export it to an MP3. Now I'm on acx.com, and this is where you must submit your chapters. You fill out the information, you give your book information, and I'm just going to tell you right here that this top one here that says proof, it says, this title is not available for sale on Amazon and cannot be claimed. So the question before was, do you already have to have a book out before you can do the audiobook? And I believe the answer would be yes, just by reading that. But you may want to look into that further. Okay, I'm on ACX. My information is in here. I have a login. And what you would do is go up here. Where is that? Add your title. Click on that. For me, I'm going to go to projects so I can show you how to do it. One thing to note, when you have the artist who's making the cover for your book, you need a separate cover with separate dimensions for an ebook and an audiobook. So have them do them all at one time. It'll save you money and save you time. I didn't realize this as I was going along. It's going to be the same cover, it's just the dimensions are different. For this audiobook, it has to be a square versus the normal rectangle. And this process, just so you know, It takes a long time to set up the audiobook. They say for every 1 hour of recording, you're going to spend about 3 hours of editing per 1 hour of recording. And that's really no joke. For us beginners, it's probably going to take even longer than that. So just be prepared. The other thing is, once you submit this to ACX, ACX has to listen to the whole audiobook. They have to make sure everything sounds good. They have to go through all the technical stuff. Then they send it over to Audible. Someone at Audible has to listen to the whole book and go through all of their checks. The whole process can take up to an entire month. It took a few weeks for me, and I tell you, the wait is torture because you don't know if they're going to accept it or not. One regret I had is that I really wish I would have had my audiobook come out at the same time as my paperback, and you may want the same thing also. So something else to be prepared for, since it takes a long time to get the audiobook out. I had a lot of people initially saying, is there an audiobook? Is there an audiobook? And they wanted to buy the audiobook at the same time as the paperback. And some people like to listen as they read. So for all that time that my book has been out, my book came out late December of 2020, so it's been out a few months. All the people that wanted my audiobook as they bought the book, I lost all of those sales. So something else you may or may not. For me, at the time, I kind of just wanted to get my book out. I was excited about it, but I will say that I lost sales because of that. Anyway, back to this. I'm here. I have my title now, and the way they found my title was because it's already registered on Amazon, so keep that in mind. You need that other book cover, which is different than from the paperback and from the ebook. Now I'm ready to upload my audiobook. I'm going to click that button. This is so easy, really. Now, I think before you get to this page, there is a section that has you fill out each one of these. So the opening credits, then you're going to put chapter 1 and write out the title. This says add chapter section, so then you're going to go chapter 2, write out the title. But back up here to opening credits, I hit browse. It's going to take me to my documents. That's where I saved all of my audio dictations. I know my opening credits here. I'm going to click on that, choose for upload. It'll upload it and then accept it. Then I go to chapter 1, browse, click chapter 1, choose for upload. And I go through the whole book once it's done editing. And once that's done, everything's here. Up here it says, I'm done. Those are great words to read. It'll be highlighted when you actually have everything uploaded. Click that button, and down here it's going to tell you how long your whole book is. My book is over 9 hours. Crazy. But anyway, so then you get a message and it'll tell you that it can take up to a month for this to go under review. And you sit there and check every day. Okay, so I hope this video helped you guys. I honestly searched all over the place and couldn't find anything that gave me a step-by-step tutorial. I do recommend Audacity. I tried GarageBand for weeks and weeks and could never figure it out. Audacity is super simple, and you may find one that you like better even than Audacity. But I'm excited for you guys. Happy dictating, happy narrating. And I can't wait to listen to your books, so please send me a link once your book is out on Audible. I'm excited to hear them. And if you like this video, please check out my book or my audiobook, and please leave me a review, as I will for you as well. Ciao for now.